If you are 60 or older, stop and listen. I am Dr. Laura Stevens. After 25 years as a cardiologist, I have seen many older adults overcome major health challenges only to end up in the emergency room because of a simple plate of greens. Most people do not realize this. Even if you have cut out sugar, avoided fried foods, and filled your plate with vegetables, some of those very veggies can quietly harm your heart. A bowl of fresh spinach, a few salty pickles, or a handful of raw sprouts can raise your blood pressure, cancel out important medications like warfarin or aspirin, or introduce dangerous bacteria when your immune system is weaker. In the next few minutes, I will guide you through 5 common vegetables that, unless you prepare them properly or avoid them altogether, can weaken your heart over time. We will look at why each one poses a hidden risk, how it clashes with your prescriptions, carries too much sodium, or harbors bacteria that may cause serious infections. Most importantly, I will share practical solutions so you can still enjoy tasty meals without putting your heart at risk. If you think, I eat healthy, why should I watch? Please stay with me. Every minute you wait is another minute your heart strains. After you learn about these 5 silent saboteurs, if you find this information helpful, click like, share it with someone over 60, and let me know you are taking action. Do not scroll past this. Your heart depends on it. Let us uncover these hidden dangers, learn how to avoid them, and find heart-friendly swaps that keep your blood pressure stable and your medications working as intended. Keep listening. Your heart cannot wait. First, let us talk about spinach. Spinach is a leafy green many of us love. You might blend it into a morning smoothie, pile it into a sandwich, or serve it as a generous side at dinner. But if you are on a blood thinner, especially warfarin, or even daily aspirin, you could be neutralizing your own medication with every handful of spinach. Here is why. Spinach is very high in vitamin K. Vitamin K helps your blood clot. For younger, medication-free people, that is usually fine. But if you are over 60 and rely on warfarin to prevent heart attacks or manage atrial fibrillation, extra vitamin K from spinach can undo your prescription. In other words, spinach often wins over your medication. Consider a real example. Last winter, I treated Mr. Alan Parker, age 74, a retired school principal who loved a green juice every morning. He blended 2 cups of spinach with berries and almond milk, convinced it was a fountain of youth. One January day, he fainted at home. His INR, the blood test that measures how thin his blood is, had dropped from a safe 2.8 to a dangerously low 1.1. In the emergency room, we discovered his daily spinach habit had neutralized his warfarin. He needed an urgent adjustment of his medication and a rapid reevaluation of his diet. Key takeaway: spinach itself is not the villain. It can still be part of a healthy diet, but if you are over 60 and on blood thinners, consistency is essential. Here is how to keep enjoying greens without risking clots. Keep your intake steady. If you love spinach, choose a fixed amount per week, perhaps 1 small salad on Monday and a handful in soup on Thursday. Sticking with the same amount week after week allows your doctor to adjust your warfarin dose effectively. Try lower vitamin K greens. Swap 2 cups of spinach for 2 cups of arugula or mixed salad greens. Arugula has about 1/3 the vitamin K content of spinach and is gentler on your blood thinner. Talk with your doctor. Before adding or removing spinach, ask, if I reduce my spinach intake by half, how should my warfarin dose change? A brief conversation can prevent a dangerous clot or an unexpected bleed. Practical tip: instead of a daily spinach smoothie, rotate your greens each week. Week 1, arugula salads with lemon vinaigrette. Week 2, steamed kale gently tossed in olive oil. Week 3, romaine lettuce wraps with lean turkey and avocado. Week 4, lightly sautéed Swiss chard with garlic. Keep the garlic cooked to reduce its blood-thinning effect. By alternating like this, you gain variety, limit vitamin K spikes, and still get a broad range of nutrients. Action step: before you reach for that bag of spinach again, check your most recent INR reading and schedule a brief chat with your healthcare provider. Ask, given my current warfarin dose, how much spinach is safe? That small step can save you from a blood clot or a trip to the emergency room. Remember, at 60 and above, more does not always mean better. When you are on blood thinners, managing vitamin K intake is critical. Spinach can be your ally. Just use it wisely, not recklessly. Next, let us look at pickled cucumbers. Pickles may seem like a harmless snack. You grab a few slices to top your sandwich or munch on them between meals. But for anyone over 60, pickles can be a hidden threat. Here is why. Pickles are soaked in brine that often contains more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serving, about 2/3 of the recommended daily limit for someone your age. When you consume that much salt, your body retains extra water to dilute it. This extra fluid raises blood volume, forcing your heart to pump harder against stiffened arteries. Over time, that added pressure can lead to high blood pressure, artery damage, and even heart failure. Consider Mrs. Joyce Ramirez, 69 years old. She avoided soda and sweets, but ate a small dill pickle with nearly every lunch. Despite her blood pressure medication, her numbers stayed around 150 over 90. When we reviewed her diet, those daily pickles emerged as the culprit. We switched her to homemade, low-sodium pickles, using just a teaspoon of salt, fresh dill, garlic, and apple cider vinegar. 2 months later, her blood pressure dropped to 130 over 80 without any change in medication. Key takeaway: it is not just about avoiding the salt shaker at the table. It is the sneaky sodium hiding in foods you consider safe. If you love the tangy crunch of pickles, here is how to enjoy them without risking your heart. Make low-sodium pickles at home. Use 1/4 of the salt called for in a standard recipe. Season with fresh dill, garlic cloves, and a splash of vinegar. Let them sit in the refrigerator for 48 hours before eating. Swap in fresh cucumber slices. Dress plain cucumbers with lemon juice, a pinch of black pepper, and fresh herbs like basil or mint. You still get the satisfying crunch without the sodium spike. Read labels carefully. If you buy jarred pickles, look for those marked low sodium. Under 200 milligrams per serving is a safer choice. Rinse them under running water before eating to remove extra brine. Practical tip: when you crave that pickled bite, ask yourself, is 1,000 milligrams of sodium worth it? If not, try replacing that snack with a small bowl of lightly salted edamame or a handful of unsalted almonds for crunch. Action step: tonight, check your fridge. If you see any commercial pickles, plan to make a homemade batch this weekend. Here's a simple recipe. Slice a fresh cucumber into spears. In a jar, combine 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/2 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 minced garlic cloves, and a few sprigs of fresh dill. Pour over the cucumber, seal the jar, and refrigerate for 48 hours. In just 2 days, you will have tangy, crunchy pickles with a fraction of the sodium. Your heart will notice the difference. Remember, after 60, every milligram of sodium matters. Do not let a few slices of pickle quietly undo months of effort to keep your blood pressure healthy. Choose low sodium or fresh and keep your heart strong. Now let us turn up the heat. Red chili peppers are cherished for their kick, whether in grandma's chili or a zesty salsa at family gatherings. But after age 60, that familiar burn can become a hidden risk. Here is why. Chili peppers contain capsaicin, the compound that makes them hot. Capsaicin triggers your nervous system to release adrenaline, the fight or flight hormone that accelerates heart rate. In younger individuals, that jolt may feel invigorating, but in a 65 or 70-year-old heart, where arteries are less elastic, an adrenaline surge can suddenly raise blood pressure, constrict vessels, and even trigger irregular heartbeats. Consider Mr. Robert Ellis, 74. He loved his late wife's homemade salsa recipe. One Sunday afternoon, he enjoyed a large bowl of spicy chili loaded with fresh red peppers. An hour later, his heart began to race, and he developed chest tightness. His blood pressure spiked to 180 over 100, and he felt dizzy enough to call 911. In the hospital, doctors found his heart in a dangerous rhythm caused by the capsaicin surge. He spent 2 nights under cardiac observation before stabilizing. That entire episode could have been avoided by dialing back the heat. Key takeaway: You do not need to give up flavor. Just be mindful of how much spice you include. Here is how to enjoy zest without overtaxing your heart. Choose milder peppers. Replace fiery red chilies with Anaheim or poblano peppers. You will still get a peppery taste without the strong capsaicin punch. Use alternative spices. Smoked paprika, cumin, or a hint of cinnamon can add warmth and depth without triggering an adrenaline spike. A squeeze of lime or a handful of cilantro also brightens dishes in a heart-friendly way. Control your portions. If you want red chilies, add just a pinch instead of a handful. Mix them into a larger pot of stew or soup so the capsaicin is diluted. Pay attention to warning signs. If you notice palpitations, chest tightness, or a sudden headache after a spicy meal, pause and rest. If symptoms persist more than 10 minutes, seek medical attention. Practical tip. Next time you crave that spicy kick, try this swap. Chop 1 mild bell pepper and saute it with a teaspoon of olive oil, a pinch of smoked paprika, and a dash of garlic powder. Stir into black beans or turkey chili for flavor without overloading on heat. Action step. Tonight, check your spice rack. If you see crushed red pepper flakes, try switching to smoked paprika or mild chili powder. Notice how your chest feels after dinner. If it stays calm, you have found a safer way to enjoy your meals. Remember, after 60, heat in a dish can translate to stress on your heart. Be intentional with the spice. Use milder peppers, try different seasonings, and listen to your body. Segment 5. Raw garlic, when nature's medicine becomes too potent. Next is a kitchen staple most of us trust, raw garlic. For years, we have been told that garlic can lower cholesterol, thin the blood, and boost immunity. But here is a fact many seniors do not realize. Eating raw garlic every day can tip the scales too far, especially if you are on blood thinners or other heart medications. Here is what happens in your body. Raw garlic contains allicin, the compound responsible for its pungent aroma and potent effect. In moderate amounts, allicin can help reduce cholesterol and slightly lower blood pressure. But if you are on prescription anticoagulants like warfarin or daily aspirin, adding raw garlic on top of that can make your blood too thin. The result may be spontaneous bleeding, nosebleeds that do not stop, easy bruising from minor bumps, or, in the worst cases, unseen internal bleeding until it becomes life-threatening. Consider Mrs. Evelyn Johnson, age 71. She believed a raw garlic clove each morning was her secret to heart health. She chewed a large clove on an empty stomach, hoping it would keep her cholesterol at bay. One afternoon, she developed a severe nosebleed that lasted more than an hour. By the time she reached the clinic, her hemoglobin had dropped so low she felt dizzy and faint. We learned she was already on a low-dose aspirin after a heart attack. The extra allicin from daily raw garlic had amplified her aspirin's blood-thinning effect, leading to a near life-threatening bleed. Key takeaway: raw garlic is powerful. Perhaps too powerful when combined with certain medications. But you do not need to give it up completely. Instead, use these safer approaches. Cook your garlic. Roasting or sautéing garlic reduces its allicin content while still giving you that savory taste. For example, spread 1 roasted clove on whole grain toast for breakfast instead of chewing it raw. Moderate the frequency. If you enjoy garlic's health benefits, limit raw consumption to 1 small piece once or twice a week instead of daily. Use cooked garlic on other days. Talk to your doctor. Before making raw garlic a habit, ask, given my current anticoagulant dose, how much raw garlic is safe? That short conversation can prevent a dangerous bleed. Practical tip: for a heart-healthy morning ritual, try this method. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, cut the top off a garlic bulb, drizzle it with a teaspoon of olive oil, wrap it in foil, and roast for about 30 minutes until the cloves are soft. Use 1 or 2 roasted cloves as a spread on whole grain crackers, or stir them into oatmeal for a savory twist. This way, you still get garlic's antioxidant benefits without a huge allicin spike. Action step: this week, replace your daily raw garlic clove with cooked garlic in at least 3 meals. Notice how you feel. If you bruise less or feel fewer dizzy spells, you have found a safer balance. Remember, at 60 and above, natural does not always mean harmless. Raw garlic can be friend or foe depending on your medications. Use it wisely, in moderation, and always consult your healthcare provider. Now let us talk about raw sprouts, the so-called superfood you often see on health blogs. You might sprinkle alfalfa, mung bean, or broccoli sprouts over sandwiches or toss them into salads. But here's the harsh truth. These delicate sprouts grow in warm, moist conditions, perfect for bacteria like E. coli, salmonella, and listeria. For someone under 40 with a strong immune system, a bout of food poisoning may mean a few days of stomach cramps. But for seniors over 60 whose immunity has weakened, the same contamination can spiral into life-threatening complications. Why this matters more after 60. As we age, our bodies cannot fight infections as effectively. A small bacterial load that a younger person handles easily can send an older adult into septic shock or cause endocarditis, an infection of the heart lining, especially if they already have heart disease. Consider Mr. Harold Nguyen, a 76-year-old Vietnam veteran who loved adding raw sprouts to every salad. One evening, after shrimp tacos topped with a mountain of alfalfa sprouts, he woke with violent stomach cramps and a high fever. He assumed it was just a stomach bug until he became so weak he could not stand. At the hospital, tests revealed listeria in his bloodstream. The infection had spread to his heart lining, forcing a 2-week ICU stay on IV antibiotics. By the time he returned home, he had lost a month of independence, unable to drive or cook, and his heart function was still recovering. Key takeaway: raw sprouts may seem healthy, but they can hide a dangerous microbial trap for anyone over 60. Here is how to enjoy their nutrients without risking your health. Cook your sprouts thoroughly. A quick sauté in olive oil or a brief steam for 2 to 3 minutes kills harmful bacteria while retaining much of their crunch and nutrients. Buy with caution. If you choose prepackaged sprouts, pick brands labeled USDA inspected and check the use by date. Store them in the back of the fridge, not the door, to keep them consistently cold. Substitute similar but safer veggies. Instead of raw sprouts, try lightly cooked shredded cabbage, blanched snap peas, or thinly sliced bell peppers. You still get a crisp texture without the bacterial risk. Practical tip: tomorrow's lunch, swap your raw sprout salad for a warm bowl of miso soup with briefly steamed broccoli and baby bok choy. Season with low-sodium soy sauce and a sprinkle of scallions. Action step: open your fridge now. If you have any container of raw sprouts more than 2 days old, toss them. Plan a simple meal with cooked, heart-healthy vegetables instead, like steamed green beans or roasted zucchini. That small swap can keep you out of the emergency room. Remember, at 60 and above, a seemingly innocent handful of sprouts can carry bacteria that overwhelm a weakened immune system, leading to severe infection and even heart complications. Cook them or skip them. Your body will thank you. Now that we have identified those 5 hidden hazards, let us focus on foods that truly support a strong, healthy heart, especially for anyone over 60. These options not only taste great, but also work alongside your medications, help stabilize blood pressure, and deliver vital nutrients without unintended risks. Steamed broccoli. Why it is heart-friendly. Broccoli is lower in vitamin K than spinach, and still full of fiber, vitamin C, and antioxidants. These help lower cholesterol, fight inflammation, and support artery health. How to prepare. Cut a medium head of broccoli into florets. Steam gently for 4 to 5 minutes until bright green and just tender. Drizzle with 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. If you are on a blood thinner, this modest vitamin K dose will not threaten your INR. Roasted carrots with herbs. Why it is heart-friendly. Carrots contain beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A, and plenty of potassium, both nutrients that help lower blood pressure and support vision. How to prepare. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Peel and slice 4 to 5 medium carrots into sticks. Toss with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt or salt substitute, and a sprinkle of dried rosemary or thyme. Spread on a baking sheet and roast for 20 to 25 minutes until the edges caramelize. Finish with a handful of fresh parsley for color and added antioxidants. Why it is heart-friendly. Kale and Swiss chard offer magnesium and potassium, which help relax blood vessels and manage blood pressure. Both are lower in vitamin K than spinach when served in moderate portions. How to prepare. Rinse and tear 2 cups of kale or Swiss chard into pieces, removing stems. Heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. Add 2 cloves of garlic, minced, and sauté for 30 seconds until fragrant. Add the greens and a pinch of salt, then toss for 4 to 5 minutes until wilted but still bright. If you are on blood thinners, cook the garlic to reduce its raw blood thinning effect. Baked sweet potatoes. Why it is heart-friendly. Sweet potatoes are rich in fiber and potassium. They help keep blood sugar steady and lower blood pressure. Their natural sweetness also satisfies sugar cravings in a healthier way. How to prepare. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Pierce each sweet potato a few times with a fork. Place on a baking sheet and bake for 45 minutes to an hour until tender. Split open and top with 1 tablespoon of plain Greek yogurt for protein and probiotics. Then sprinkle with cinnamon. You get a creamy, comforting dish without excess salt or butter. Tomato and lentil soup. Why it is heart-friendly. Tomatoes are full of lycopene, an antioxidant linked to lower heart disease risk. Lentils provide plant-based protein and fiber, which help maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Using low-sodium broth makes this dish gentle on blood pressure. How to prepare. In a large pot, heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil over medium heat. Sauté 1 diced small onion and 1 chopped carrot until soft, about 4 minutes. Add 3 minced garlic cloves and cook for 30 seconds. Stir in 1 can of no salt added diced tomatoes and 1 cup of rinsed lentils. Pour in 4 cups of low sodium vegetable or chicken broth. Bring to a simmer and cook for 25 to 30 minutes until lentils are tender. Season with 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, a pinch of black pepper, and finish with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice for brightness. Additional practical tips for every meal. Limit added salt. Instead of grabbing the salt shaker, reach for fresh or dried herbs like rosemary, thyme, or basil, or use citrus zest to boost flavor. Choose healthy fats. Use extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or a small handful of nuts rather than butter or margarine. These fats help reduce inflammation and support cardiovascular health. Practice portion control. Even healthy foods add up in calories if you overeat. Use measuring cups or a food scale occasionally to check serving sizes. Consider using a smaller dinner plate to naturally reduce portions. Balance your plate. Aim for half your plate filled with non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 lean protein, grilled chicken, fish, beans, or lentils, and 1/4 whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, or whole wheat bread. Real-world illustration. Imagine your next dinner. On your plate, place 1 cup of steamed broccoli drizzled with lemon, 2 roasted carrot sticks sprinkled with fresh parsley, and a bowl of tomato lentil soup on the side. This meal delivers fiber, protein, healthy fats, and plenty of vitamins and minerals, all at a modest sodium level. If you are on warfarin, the vitamin K from broccoli and carrots is manageable when spread over the week, and the cooked garlic in the soup will not overpower your blood-thinning medication. Action step. Tomorrow, plan a grocery trip with these items: fresh broccoli crowns, a bag of carrots, a bunch of kale or Swiss chard, sweet potatoes, canned no-salt added tomatoes, and a bag of dried lentils. When you get home, commit to making one of these dishes. Over time, these small changes become lasting habits that help protect your heart. Remember, eating well after 60 is not about deprivation. It is about choosing foods that fuel your body and protect your heart. With these simple guidelines, you can enjoy rich, satisfying meals every day without unintended risks. Segment 8, Closing Message and Call to Action. We have covered 5 common vegetables that can work against your heart: spinach, pickled cucumbers, red chili peppers, raw garlic, and raw sprouts, and reviewed how each can quietly cause harm if you are over 60. Now let us focus on the good news. Making mindful swaps can dramatically improve your heart health, even if you have followed these habits for years. Here is why it matters. By age 60, your heart has beaten an estimated 2 billion times, tirelessly pumping blood through every part of your body. That is an extraordinary feat, and your heart deserves care in return. What worked in your 30s or 40s may no longer serve you as you age. Those healthy routines, like daily spinach smoothies or crunchy pickle snacks, can become hidden landmines if you're on medications or have a weaker immune system. Here's a success story to inspire you. Last month, Mrs. Lisa Carter, 72, living in Tampa, emailed me with her blood pressure readings, 150/95, despite faithfully taking her medication. After watching this program, she realized her nightly habit of 6 pickles was undermining her treatment. She replaced store-bought pickles with homemade low-sodium zucchini pickles made using fresh dill, a dash of apple cider vinegar, and just a pinch of salt. Within 3 weeks, her blood pressure dropped to a steady 130/80 without any medication changes. She wrote, "I never imagined a few slices of zucchini could change my life." That small swap gave her more energy, fewer headaches, and peace of mind. Your heart can still recover. It is never too late to make better choices. Here's a quick checklist for today. Review your fridge and pantry. Remove or modify any high-risk items you cannot cook safely, such as commercial pickles or old raw sprouts. Stock up on heart-friendly staples. Broccoli, carrots, kale, sweet potatoes, canned low-sodium tomatoes, and lentils. Make a simple dietary promise. Replace one risky vegetable with a safer alternative this week. For example, swap raw sprouts in your salad for steamed green beans. Try one heart-healthy recipe from this program, such as the roasted carrot and lentil stew or a steaming bowl of broccoli soup. Touch base with your healthcare provider. Ask about adjusting your warfarin if you still want to enjoy spinach occasionally. Clarify how much cooked garlic is safe if you are on a blood thinner. A 5-minute call can prevent serious complications. A final thought. Your next heartbeat is a gift not to be taken for granted. Eating well after 60 is not about strict diets or deprivation. It is about choosing foods that nourish your body and protect your heart. Each small change adds up. A homemade cucumber pickle here, a roasted sweet potato there, a pot of tomato lentil soup on a chilly evening. Over time, these actions build a foundation for lasting heart health. Now please pass this information on to a friend, neighbor, or family member over 60. They might be at risk without knowing it. Leave a comment sharing the change you plan to make this week. Perhaps you will swap spicy chili peppers for smoked paprika, or finally cook your sprouts instead of eating them raw. Your choice could inspire someone else. Thank you for spending these minutes with me. Take care of your heart, make those small swaps, and remember, you still have many chapters of life left to enjoy. Here's to healthy meals, strong hearts, and many more heartbeats ahead.